Now we are coming to the last part of today. It's a new. It's something that we added to the Process Mining Camp last year. So last year we did it for the first time. It's called the Process Miner of the Year Awards. And the idea behind it is that so many people, I mean, you have heard some speakers here today, they shared about the projects that they achieved. But so many of you are busy with all kinds of projects. And we wanted to create a way to showcase those projects and what was achieved with process mining. So people can submit projects that they did to the Process Miner of the Year Awards every year. And we do it again next year. So next year you can all submit your cases too. And the award is, of course, the honor of being the Process Miner of the Year. But also in addition, there's a very nice trophy that we create. It's a handcrafted piece that is a unique piece of art. It's created out of a piece of log. So that's the hint to the logs that we are all mining. And if you're looking very carefully at the bottom, you can see the winner of this year's Process Miner of the Year award. So I would like to ask Carmen and Arantatu to take the stage. Let me get the award. Yes. Maybe can you give the flowers? Yes.
Oh, thank you.
So congratulations. It's 3 times in the Netherlands. So this is the award. Let me hand it to you.
Oh, thank you very much.
And let's give a big round of applause.
Thank you very much. We are glad to be here. Oh.
Yes, please.
We are glad. And we are really glad because this means that university people can highly contribute to improve the process and operation in a company like Telefónica is. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. It's a pleasure.
So because we knew you were coming to the Process Mining Camp, we asked Carmen and Arantatu to present their project, to give us some overview about what they did with process mining, and I'll just put up the slides, and you can...
It's going to be a short one, so don't worry.
Okay. Then, Telefónica, it's a telecommunication company with more than 300 customers in 21 countries. Okay? Then, our team is responsible of the definition and auditing of operation and deployment best practices within the global CTO organization. We define the analytic strategy, and we provide the capabilities to execute the defined strategy. Operation teams are complex organizations working around the clock, both global and locally, and these teams follow a set of rules and protocols. These protocols might be analyzed using data-driven technique, including process mining. Operational drift, it's a very challenging task. These slow changes in the daily behavior and in the informal group's culture are very difficult to detect because they are not dramatic enough to produce a strong impact in the quality of the service. To make the scenario harder, we have to survey dozens of services. So we need an early and reliable indicator of anomaly. As we explained it last year during the process mining camp, the incident's life cycle during 2015 was not optimal. As a result of the action plan, we organized to solve the incidents that we found with Disco. Right now, the incident life cycle, the incidents follow the right life cycle, okay? Conformance checking is one of the most important tasks in process analytics. Following the right protocol, it's necessary to achieve the standards of quality in any business. But sometimes, following these protocols, it's not enough. It's not enough, okay? They are silence, minor modification on daily behavior that are not encoded, but become part of the informal group's culture. They are really very, very difficult to detect because rules are not broken and teams do not feel that these workarounds are potentially dangerous. And we have a problem with that. But this year we have news about improvement in the operations because the suspicion was there. There were an abnormal rate of severity changes on critical and major incidents. We started to analyze, we have analyzed all severity changes for all services during 2017. And to continue with our analysis, we have chosen a very, very relevant service with a huge, a crazy percentage of changes in severity. And Arantxa is the maximum responsible of this service. Okay, let's Arantxa.
Right. The service we analyzed with Disco, it was the IoT Managed Connectivity Service developed by Telefónica. By May, there were more than 3 million users all around the world from different sectors using the service in Germany, Spain, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Mexico, and all over the world. This service has got a target availability of 99.5% end-to-end, right? Including customers' usage. We have 4 hours to restore critical incidents, that's our SLA, and 12 hours if it is a major disruption. An incident is defined as an unplanned interruption or reduction of quality of a service. The incident management ensures that the disruption is restored as soon as possible. So, in this service, in particular, we use 4 types of severity. What severity defines is the seriousness of an incident as a function of the impact that it has on the service provided to the customer. So we have 4 types of severities: critical, major, minor, and slight. We're going to speak about critical and major now, because it's going to be the focus of the analysis. Critical is that one that, I know, something is broken, you cannot access to the portal, for example. You cannot access to the portal, you cannot see any data about your IoT connectivity service. A major could have 2 flavors. A major incident that we have 12 hours to restore could have the flavor of impact. I mean, a customer is experiencing a major disruption and he's noticing what is happening. We have to solve it quickly, but because the customer is experiencing one, and we have those 12 hours to restore. But then there could be another flavor of major incident that is with no impact in the customer. For example, the difference between one and the other would be the billing has to be available in the first 5 days of the month. So if something happens in the system, in the platform, that avoids to have a look at the billing, and it is not in the time the customer is expecting the billing, so it is a major problem, but it has no impact in the customer service. They are not expecting to see the billing, so there's no problem to solve it as not a critical incident, but it is important for us to act as soon as possible. So, as you can see, there are two flavors of major incidents. One of the main things that I always take into account, I am the responsible for the operation of the service, and I'm responsible for the cost of that operation. One of the main things is that the more accurate you are in knowing how many incidents of each type you are going to deal with, the more precise you can be in calculating the cost of the operating system.
Hold on, Arantxa. We are going to help you.
Thank you.
By the end of 2016, we started the search for non-evident operational drift using severity as indicator. We download the information, the ticket information from the travel ticketing tool using the native API that we really need. In this system, all human interaction are recorded. But what we really need are historical transitions. First of all, we filter our notes and description that are not useful for this analysis. We need to change the date format too, and that we really need are historical transition. I mean, detail of status changes and details of severity changes. This preprocess is launched from a web interface built by my team using the Shiny package programmed with R. And the result is that now ticketing data are available for this coprocessing. Okay, let's go. In this picture, you can see all severity changes for this service, no matter what their initial or final severity is. And you can see a complex map. Okay? Then, as Arantxa said, service availability depends on major and critical incidents. So the first step was using filtering these severities and study the life cycle of critical and later on major incidents and the relevant changes that they suffer. During this year, there are not final critical incidents registered for this service. However, 6 tickets were created with that level, but they reduced their severity in less than 5 minutes. Then, this practice is according with the protocol, and severity management was correct for these tickets. Okay, congratulations. But major incidents do not disrupt the global service, but are taken very seriously by operator teams. Then, this year, the number of major incidents is decreasing. No, this year. The number of major incidents is decreasing year by year. You can see in the table. And this result says us that the operation is improving year by year. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. So I can reduce my costs, can I?
No. Because the high number of severity changes lead to a detailed analysis of what was happening. The first step I do with my team was to create a table with the changes that initial major severities suffer. Then, for this service and during this year, there is a huge and terrible percentage of severity changes. What is happening? We wanted to know at what point of the life cycle the changes happen. Okay? Then, with this goal, we have chosen 2 activities: updated severity and status, in order to analyze at what point of the life cycle the changes happen. Then, last year, the 44% of severity changes in major incidents, the initial major incidents, reduced their severity when the incidents were restored. It's crazy. But this year, it's terrible, because the 56% of incidents, of major incidents, reduced their severity at the same point. And the worst, The operator that reduced the severity, once restored, was part of the global service management group. We are crazy.
Which are meant to be the main responsible of the service and are in my team.
Then, what's happening with your service? The question was, what is the source of this unexpected behavior? What's happened in this service? Looking for a clue, we have analyzed the life cycle of those incidents that reduced their severity once restored. It does make sense. Then, remember, as Arantxa said, the service level agreement for major incidents in this service is 12 hours. And if you go to the DISCO information we have with DISCO, this information, the median duration of the incident restoration for these tickets was 1 hour and a half, much lower than the 12 hours committed in the agreement with the client. Then, it was not a problem with the service level agreement, okay? The incidents were major, and they were major, without not impact in the country or with the customers, but major. And they must be restored with urgency to avoid a potential high problem. They were major, okay? No reason to reduce the severity. Then, the problem was that managers were concerned about the high number of major incidents reported to the countries without impacting the countries. They said, no, we don't want to see these incidents as major. That's why operators reduce the severity when an incident has not final impact. And countries, operators, but expert operators, reduce the severity in order, and that way, these severities are not reflected in official reports. Oh. This practice was hiding the actual state of the service. It's not at all a good practice, okay? Incidents were not being registered properly in the travel ticketing tool. It's crazy, because in this tool, you can indicate if a country is affected or not. Why they do it? They don't do it. And with this unofficial workaround, the information shared with the countries was correct, was reliable. But the problem was in internal official report, because with this practice, the official report, the internal official report, were not reliable, because were incomplete, because many major incidents were not accounted as so. Once this situation was detected, an action plan was enforced, okay? We have reviewed the protocol with operators teams, with operation teams, to a correct recording of incidents in the travel ticketing tool in order to indicate if a country is affected or not, if an incident has or has not impact. Operation report has also been modified in order to reflect reliable information without the need to manipulate the recorded information. Okay? Severity change analysis is now part of the monthly operational reports, and if managers can detect any abnormally change in percentage of severity changes, they may ask our team to add detailed analysis with DISCO. Okay, we will do. And we are working to set up an alarm system that informs us every time a predefined target on severity changes is exceeded. It's okay?
It's okay.
Okay, great.
So, as Carmen has explained very well, and you have seen, reliable data in a ticketing tool led us to think about taking a decision of reducing costs. Incidents are decreasing. We don't need so many people working on that. But, as you have seen, process mining helped us to understand that it had been a mistake. It went farther than any basic data analytics could have been. Because, in my opinion, when we do process mining, we get closer to the behavioral part of a thing. So we have been able to detect something that if we had only seen the raw data about number of incidents, we had never identified. So thank you, Carmen.
It's my work.
That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please stay here for a moment. So if you have a question for Carmen and Arantxa, please raise your hand. And I have one question. And so what we really liked about this case is the human element. That's what you also just summarized at the end. So I'm curious, did you talk to the people who were involved, and how did let's say the human part of your process mining analysis go into this in this result? So were there difficult discussions? Was it easy to do, or how did it go?
It was very easy. She's the responsible.
It was very easy because she came to me first.
Yeah, we go directly to the boss. And no, the first step, we were just concerned about the huge severity changes. It was not a good practice, and it was objective data. Then we wanted to know with the responsible. Arantxa know very well the service. Then she explained us a possible reason, but the day later we talked with you. You organized a meeting with the responsible of the.
In fact, it's something you have. Most of you in the presentations have seen that the human part is so important in this analysis, and that's why process mining goes, as I said, further. It goes to the behavior, and but it doesn't help just to know what is happening. But you have to go to the people and see why it is happening. Right. And then you can understand things, and then even more, for the people that is making the analysis, for Carmen's team, they understand what is happening, and they can even go deeper into the details of the processes. So they go on working with teams, they understand what is happening, why it's happening, why they do things, and then they can understand better the process that they see in this go, and then they can find some other good things or bad things or whatever.
We were talking with them several times. The first step was thinking about the service level agreement. We come back to this to analyze the times. It was not that problem. Another problem we maybe think is the impact or not impact. It was not this problem because it was major and they were major. We were talking with you for 1 month and your team, looking for the clue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you. So, someone has the microphone with a question? Or you have a question? We will get the microphone to you, yes.
It's not too difficult, probably. Do you also have a process in place to determine that incidents, which based on their content should be major, are not filed as minor at the beginning of the process?
Repeat, because I don't think I did hear you very well.
Incidents that, based on their content, should be major. Do you also have a process in place to determine that they are not initially filed as minor incidents, while they should have been major in the beginning?
So you say that if we have analyzed if the incident should have been minor,
should have been major. So someone files a minor incident, but based on the content, it should have been major.
You say the way back, the minor incidents that should have been major. Yes. We have we analyzed that too. In fact, there are some severity changes from minor to major, but you know what they identified was a problem with the behavior of the people. So when people start thinking that it is a minor problem and they upgrade it to a major problem, it is quite real. I mean, an operator don't want to have a major problem just because he wants to do it. So that process also occurs, but it is much better controlled. So we haven't extracted data about that.
Operators feel more comfortable with minor incidents.
Yes.
If an operator change incidents to major, is because it's major. No way. The problem was the opposite. Okay.
Other questions? That's fine.
I have a question for you. Last year and this year, you told us about projects you have done with Disco to find specific or to investigate specific issues. But do you also use Disco for some kind of monthly reporting or continuous follow-up? Or
we have continuous follow-up of number of incidents of.
No, I mean with Disco, do you follow certain things every month with Disco?
With Disco, yes, we follow. What do we follow monthly with Disco?
But mainly with Disco, we analyze, because we have several reports, monthly or daily reports, but we mainly use Disco to analyze those cases that are not easy to explain with our official reports. Okay, and we are analyzing severity changes, we are analyzing unexpected behavior, for instance, with restoration times not used or some kind. But we use Disco as an extra analysis to our official reports.
Thank you. Clear.
Well, I had the same question, so.
Okay. Okay, one more question over here.
Yes, I'm curious. So, did you use the data from ServiceNow, or do you have another tool for your incidents?
Do we have?
The IT service management tool. What kind of ITSM tool are you?
What tool do you use?
He's asking about ServiceNow.
Yes.
Do you have ServiceNow as an ITSM tool, the IT service management tool?
The UDO. We have an in-house ticketing tool. In-house developed ticketing tool based on, I don't know exactly, UDO.
¿Está con Python? Con...
No, what?
I don't know.
We are not the developers.
So you had a tailor-made system logging, I think.
Not from Python.
Okay.
I think it's with Python.
I don't know.
Python.
I don't really know. Anyway, what we are trying now. We are now trying to. She are trying now to deal with our Brazilian colleagues' applications, and it's crazy.
Okay. We are lucky in Telefónica, in the global CTO organization where we work. We are lucky in our area because all the ticket information is in the travel ticketing tool, and it's quite easy to process. But as Arantxa said, we are working with other countries, and we receive information from different format and from different.
We have remedies, we have SAPs, we have
crazy. The process to organize the information, it's crazy.
Thank you very much.
Any more questions? No? Well then, I suggest let's thank Arantxa and Carmen once more.